In this tutorial, what we're going to look at, we're still going to look at making brushes, but we're going to look at it using the channels palette instead of using grayscale. Now, something to consider when you're creating the brushes, and in anything that is CS5 and below, the maximum size that you can make a brush is 2500 pixels by 2500 pixels. Now, in the new version, CS6 and the Creative Cloud, you can go up to 5000 by 5000. That's a really big brush. So let's take a look at, your image size with that. All right, let's bring that up to 300. That's a 16 by 16 inch brush. That's a pretty big brush in order to do it. So just so you know, 2500 and 5000, those are the two key numbers. So let's look at this brush. Let's look at the channels palette. The channels palette deals with your red, green, and blue. Or if you're dealing with a CMYK image, it would say cyan, yellow, magenta, and black. So when we do it this way, we are looking for the image that gives us the most contrast. Let's just zoom in a little bit here. So the red, not too much contrast. The green has a pretty good amount of contrast, and so does the blue. That's really kind of a personal preference. There's really not too much there's not too much difference, right? So we're going to go ahead and make a duplicate of the blue. So you just drag it down to the new one, right? So it says blue copy. You never want to do it right on the channel because then you destroy the image. We always want to kind of work non-destructive. So I'm going to do my levels adjustment, which is Command L or image adjustment levels. And I'm going to go ahead and raise that black up, and I'm going to go ahead and raise the white. And remember, anything that becomes 100% white becomes transparent. So I can bring that up pretty high. I want some of this grain that's in there. Okay, great. If I did the brush like this, which would be fine, I'd get basically like a little square with these little pieces that are here. So I don't necessarily want those. So I'm just going to use the eraser tool. Let's grab just a regular brush here for the eraser. And I'm simply just going to erase these parts that I don't like or don't want. Right? So I'm just erasing. Make sure that your background layer is set to white. And then once I'm done with that, I can say, let's go ahead and do edits and define brush presets, and there it would appear in your brush palette. So that's another way that you can create a brush, is using the channels palette. And you can see I went right from the channels palette. I didn't have to go into the layers at all. I like this mode the best. That's a personal preference, so you could use grayscale or channels in order to make your brushes.